I didn't know where my family was going to go. I just had this idea on how I wanted to raise my family, and every obstacle presented itself. I was just hopeless. We conceived Braxton when we were 19. And so at that point in time, what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. And so Nathan went off into the Marine Corps, and he served 2 tours in a service of 6 years. I stayed in Sandy and raised Braxton with this idea that I was supposed to do when you become a mom. So that was kind of the struggle. And then just fast forward, 6 years. Then we've got me divorced, rekindling a relationship with Nathan. He had Addison from a prior relationship. And then when we came back together, blending a family just felt easy and simple and something that we could do. That was when we decided that when we blended our family to get married. So life in Sandy was pretty good. We were living in a little ranch first home. And then we started going to a church called Assembly of God, Sandy Assembly of God. And just kind of during our courtship and being newlyweds and becoming second-time parents with Bristol, life felt perfect. Nathan was looking for a career, and he started at OSP in Salem. And so from that point on, he had been commuting from Salem to Sandy. I'd been working in Portland at the VA, and life seemed like there were no hiccups at all. When Nathan got hired on at OSP, he'd been doing that commute for about 1.5 years. Came pretty taxing. He was gone for 12 hours a day. And then with my commute into Portland and living in Sandy, it was still, we just kind of felt spread out. And so we moved to Salem. As I sit here and I think about my old church in departing, the picture that I received then was like a send-off. It really felt like we were leaving home. I did a lot of journaling, a lot of praying. It was a good foundation kind of for that, to learn the skills that church had given me. At that point, we were getting ready to move. I was switching jobs from the main hospital in Portland to a small clinic in Salem. When that happened, it was a month after we found out we were going to have twins. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to call my husband. Like, he was at home on baby duty, putting her down for her nap. I just kind of hand him the stack, and you see his face just kind of melting. And it hits him, and you can tell, and he's like, wait, are we having twins? And from that point on, it was literally just a blur. The hardships began with our little home in Salem. It was about 1,100 square feet and 7 of us. And we were done. My hopelessness was, oh my God, I am in this 1,100 square foot house. These babies are about to start walking. So we got to the point where we were ready to move on and kind of just, the green pastures. And so when we started looking for homes to buy, Staten was kind of calling us, and our first home that we put in an offer fell through because the seller had lost his job. And then we quickly found a home in Staten again, and we had gone through the whole process up until the point where we put in our 30-day notice. We were about 2 weeks from closing, and our appraiser underbidded the house about $40,000, and he wouldn't move. And for me, I was postpartum 9 months. My world was so small, I just felt like we had this small house. Things weren't going, per my mom plan, and we had to get out. We had to figure it out. And so I was just hopeless. I did not know what we were going to do. In that situation, the sellers had another offer. They ended our contract. And so when our real estate agent called, I felt so bad. I just cried. I didn't know where my family was going to go. I just had this idea on how I wanted to raise my family, and every obstacle presented itself. But Nathan found this ad, and he got in touch with our property manager, and we rented a house on Victor Point. Went to Victor Point. And this house, when Nathan and I walked in it, it just felt like peace. It just felt like it was the breath of fresh air that we needed. And life was like, oh, we're back on track, So we moved to this house, and everything fell into place. We got Braxton set up in Silverton with the football community, and we met Chantel there. She told me about Celebrate Recovery. That really sounded like something I was needing in my life. I met a lot of strong women. I'm grateful for them because how many things I'll be able to learn from them still. So that was our foundation, and that was our start point. We had church shopped a couple times in other places here in Silverton. I had this criteria on what a church should be when we came here, and I finally realized I had to kind of surrender that, and that was a little unfair. And so I was told about Silver Creek Fellowship, and we came here. When we came here, we met Josiah and Sheila in the children's ministry, and it was so amazing. I don't even really remember. All I remember, it just felt so good. And I heard a message, and it just was like that relief and that and it really felt like home. I think God's changed my heart in perspective. God is so big, and he's so unpredictable, right? And when you are told that the things that God can do in your life are unimaginable, you can't really even put it into words until you've experienced it. And the things that I can speak about are the things that have been profound in my life. And it sets me back. It really does. We did get our home. We found a small school, a little farm school. The boxes, like I said, that we have outlined for our family were getting checked off. I still feel like it's blurry, but we're making it. The more I came to Celebrate Recovery, the more folks were like me or had paths that didn't resemble what I thought a Christian was. They had stuff that they were working through. The people who represent Silver Creek Fellowship is what gave me hope, ultimately, and it still does. This is a broken world, and to have a place where broken people can come and worship and be encouraged and loved on, and the flaws just not be there. That's what makes me feel welcome and loved here.